Hello, people. Rugby. First. Good morning, Mark. How are you, man? It's evening here, but yep, morning. Hey, Rick Wilson. Morning, Carl. How's it going, guys? How's the weather? That's all people have been talking about. Let's do this. Yeah, man. Let's do this. Actual rugby. 3:09 a.m. Mark. Shouldn't you be asleep? Ireland's not playing. Good evening, all-nighter. Big Will's here. For the Wallabies, you got to be here. Love that jersey. You have so many SA jerseys. Well, with all the talk of weather, I couldn't not wear a Stormers jersey, eh? It seems fitting. A little bit of rain here in Sydney. Yeah, it was kind of drizzly here today as well, to be fair. Score in the background. Yes, people have asked for the score, so it is there. Wallabies by 17, says Dan. Hey, Scooter, how's it going? Ruben, good to be back. Yes, indeed. Morning from sunny Scotland. Okay, it's pretty late here, but that's all good. Go to sleep, Mark. In a couple of hours, I'll go to sleep. I promise. Georgian's here. Nice. Good luck to your team tonight, man. Hurricanes jersey. Oh, actually, Hurricanes might have even been more fitting than Stormers, eh? I'm an idiot. Jeez, that's true. I should have gone for a Hurricanes jersey. Yes, this is technically my last day of leave. I have to go back to work on Monday. How horrendous is that? A little wet in Brisbane, 8:10 p.m. Yeah, man, the live videos are a bit of fun. Seeing as I've been off work, it's been pretty cool to do them and then just go to bed afterwards. Yeah, they don't do Adidas anymore, the Stormers. They did their own jerseys for a couple of years and then they went to another manufacturer, I forget. I've actually got the matching beers tonight as well. I managed to find a Heineken Australia and a Heineken Georgia. That is Georgia, not England. So, yep. There we go. Ready to go. Watching on ITV Player on VPN, much better. There you go. The VPN to get to ITV, it works. Very cool. What's up, man? I don't want Japan versus Scotland to be cancelled. But it would significantly improve my sleep schedule. Mine too, seeing as I have to go back to work on Monday and the game is at like 11:45 p.m. here. So that I've been going to bed at about 2 in the morning and then getting up at about 6. But for the Rugby World Cup, you do these things. I would still rather the game be played. Apparently the weather right now over there, if you guys have watched it, they just turned it on. Apparently it's starting to look pretty bad even at this venue. What do you think of the Wales team for Sunday? I haven't even seen the team, man. 5 flankers and 3 scrum halves. Who played 3 scrum halves the other day? Or was it no scrum halves? There's been some weird things going on. Oh, the All Blacks played Weber on the bench alongside Perenara and Smith started. So, yeah, 3 scrum halves is a thing. Tamua at 10. Yeah, he's the third 10. 19,000 subscribers. Yeah, the Rugby World Cup has certainly got things ticking along, Mark. Cheers. All Blacks were pretty disappointing against Italy. Can't believe they drew. I know. Who saw that coming? That's been a bit of a talking point over here. That's for sure. Have you seen Rico's vlog? No, I've seen a couple of Adi Savia's podcasts, but I haven't seen Rico's blog. Was it hard to put on that Aussie jersey? No, it's all right. That's okay. It fits. It's not as comfortable as the England one, I'll be honest. Good evening, Isaac. Yes, it's up for a good game. Bloody legend, I know, right? Watching all these games with you guys. Can't complain, man. That's fun. Georgia for the win. Maybe I'll have to get myself an Italian jersey, seeing as that's the jersey that didn't get beaten, eh? Well, the Georgian guys are going pretty hard for the anthem, just saying. Sean, yeah, the England jersey does feel pretty good. Don't know what it is about it. Look forward to the streams. Yeah, so do I. I mean, it takes me a little bit of time to set up, grab a whiteboard, turn the lamp on, get the computer set up and whatnot, but it's totally worth it. I'm not sure if it's because I can understand the Aussie anthem, but there's something about the Georgian anthem was a bit more striking. I guess if it's a language you can't understand, it just sounds cooler. I don't know, maybe. Who will win between Ireland and the Springboks? We still got to get there a few pool games first if they get played. You're predicting a try in 2 minutes. Okay. We'll see if there's an early try in this one. I'd hate to think how much you spend on rugby jerseys. To be honest, I buy most of them as cheap as I can get them. If they're new, virtually none of them have been bought full price. A lot of them have been sent to me. Mark in the chat has sent me countless jerseys. A lot of them have been sent, yeah. So, and some of them secondhand, legit. So I save for instead of $150 new jersey, I could probably get like 3 or 4 jerseys for the same price. Karevi first try scorer. That's a fair bet. I thought the RDALB podcast was okay. I've only seen the Tatavo one. I've seen the first one and I've seen the Tatavo one. I haven't seen the ALB one. Hey, Berlin. Scores there. What are we drinking? Do we start Georgia or do we start Australia? I'll let you guys decide. Georgia, Australia, Georgia, Australia, Georgia, Australia. Both cold, fresh out of the fridge. Stunning jersey, I know, right? Stormers. Someone else said I should have gone Hurricanes. Would have been more fitting. Georgia, 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 Georgia. Okay. One Aussie. Aussie. Oh, nah. Georgians. It is. Bottle up now. Samoa. I've still got more Samoas, trust me. All right, cheers, guys. Kickoff is not too far away on my stream. Oh, nice. What do we pick for this one? Is it the same box? I've got 3 boxes going at once. The original box is pretty much done, and I got 2 other boxes which I've been kind of sifting through to try and find appropriate bottles for the game. Sometimes I succeed, sometimes I fail. What did I pick for this one? Thank you for that, Ruben. Yeah, 19K. It's been ticking along really well since the World Cup. What did I pick? I picked Australia by 22, so I think that's a pretty standard pick, isn't it? My stream has just kicked off. 7 seconds in. They still sell those World Cup beers. Yeah, I was at the supermarket today, and they still have plenty of stock of World Cup beers. I still haven't managed to get the one with the little trophy on it to try and enter the competition to win a trip to the final. How many excuses will Checker have tonight? Well, supposedly the weather is already really bad, so that's going to be an excuse either way. Interesting to see the Georgians playing in their white jersey when there's not really a clash with the burgundy maroon color to Australia's jersey, but something different. I'm 50 seconds to 20 seconds. You guys are at a minute 30. Okay, I'm just hit a minute now, so it seems like once again on Spark, I am slightly behind you guys. You picked Australia by 22 as well. Yeah, 22 seems about, I think that was kind of where the bookies and whatnot were at too, eh? So that seems kind of a roundabout right. Aussies are certainly building some phases early, but the Georgian defense is looking solid so far. Not showing the game you watch is the whiteboard. Yeah, the whiteboard is the next best thing, huh? Or watching it off my glasses. Man, 6 phases. Oh, and there's been a knock on. We will see a scrum. This will be interesting. If you look on the whiteboard, you can see a reflection of the game. Oh, there is 2. No. I thought I fixed that. There we go. Wow. Morning, Craig. How are you? Good evening. This game's on TVNZ as well? How are there so many games on TV in New Zealand? I thought they were only showing like the All Blacks games delayed. Getting a bit tired of seeing that red flag in the back. Yeah, I do need to change the flags. It's been way too long. It's been like 2 weeks now. I will change the flags. I will, I promise. The flags are changing. But you'll like this one behind the whiteboard. This one here, blue. That one will be one that Joe appreciates. There's a Leinster flag hidden back there. We can still see the reflection on your glasses. The glasses are small enough and moving around that I figure I'll take the risk. Plus, if I take the glasses off, I can't see the game, so then none of us will be watching the game. Oh, big knock on. I feel like I paid $70 to see games everyone else got to see on normal TV. Where did you pay $70? Was that in New Zealand? That jersey is like the England jersey. The Stormers one? Or you mean the Georgia one? Yeah. Craig Forsyth wants to sue World Rugby if Scotland is cancelled. Well, isn't Scotland already considering legal action? Oh my God, there's a high tackle early already from the Wallabies. Come on. Being warned about that stuff. Spark Sport was like $70 or $80 when you paid. Yeah. I got it when it was 50, but that was like back in May. Way back in May. Stormers jerseys is sick. Yeah, the Stormers jersey, I had to buy it before they got rid of the rest of the Adidas, which is how we pronounce that in New Zealand, all the Adidas ones. Because they switched to another manufacturer. The Japanese, you guys are at 550. I'm just about 550 now, so we're getting a wee bit behind. The Japanese fellow who paints his upper bodies on TV, yes, he's painted himself the Georgian home colors for this one. I guess little did he know it was going to be the away colors today. Scotland can't sue because they already knew that there were no postponed games for the pool stages prior to the World Cup. Yeah. I do see a lot of I've been looking at Twitter too much. It's not good for my mental well-being. But there's a fair few comments of everybody knew the rules when they signed up for it. But what was anyone supposed to do? Say, like, nah, I'm not happy with that rule. Well, don't play at the World Cup then. Oh, okay, maybe I'll sign up to it. I don't know. I mean, I guess if a collective of teams had forced the issue, maybe they could have done something about it, but they didn't. So, yeah, they did agree to it. I mean, apparently these conditions are not like unique to this World Cup in terms of the terms and conditions for the teams. It's like that every World Cup, but it's just never had to be used before. So, but still, I feel like if these are exceptional circumstances, maybe some exceptional actions should have been taken. I think pretty much everyone would take a game elsewhere behind closed doors, no fans. Doesn't even have to be at a fancy stadium. If it's a rugby pitch and you can get the players, the support staff, you don't need to worry about police and all that stuff. You don't need to let the media in. Just give us the teams playing. Give those players a chance, man. They've worked 4 years for this, so nobody reads the terms and conditions. Yeah, I mean, kind of, eh? I feel like if any one team had an issue with it, they probably would have got told to get stuffed. It would have taken a collective of teams to force them to have other arrangements in place, but nobody bothered. We were told there were contingency plans. Yeah, they initially had the rules, and then they were told they were working on contingency plans, and then they just went back to the rules. So, yeah, the contingency plan seemed to be a bunch of nonsense because it didn't exist. Can't get this story straight, I guess. Weather looks crap. Yeah, the weather does look pretty rubbish in this one. Supposedly it's really coming in. Don't be a Nigel shirt again. How would you feel? How do you think we'll react if you think rugby would do the All Blacks knocked out because of the weather? The 2-minute prediction from Mark was rubbish. Yeah, 10 minutes and we still haven't got any points. Honestly, if by some strange set of events where the All Blacks final game, not necessarily against Italy, if the schedule had been different and we lost the game against Namibia or something, or Canada, so we essentially were down 5 points and we needed a final game against them to get above Italy, and we were going to get knocked out because of it. I mean, maybe this is pure arrogance from a New Zealand point of view, but I can't see World Rugby saying the All Blacks are out because of the weather. I can't see it. I can't see it, man. And yeah, in the wet, the Georges are going all right. All Blacks are too good to be kicked out by the weather. I just feel like it would be a PR disaster to kick the defending champions out because of the weather. Imagine if there'd been 2 typhoons that had caused 2 All Blacks games to get drawn. If you'd drawn against Canada and Namibia, then there's a legit chance they could go out even if they'd won the other game. So I still can't imagine them going out because of the weather. Hopefully no red cards. Absolutely. Let's hope no red cards. Pocock playing pretty brilliant. That guy is a brilliant man. My thoughts exactly, they would have made the game played somewhere else because New Zealand money is a drawing card. Yeah, and it just wouldn't have been a good look for the defending champs to go out on a technicality. Whereas because it's, I mean, I said it in the video the other day, it's like because those games were kind of foregone conclusions, like to a degree. The French would argue, I mean, even the Italians might argue that a miracle could have happened, but it seemed like an easier one just to go cancel because the stakes were a bit lower. Why do they treat Italy different? They shouldn't. That's the thing. They shouldn't, man. They absolutely shouldn't. I mean, I find it unlikely that the Italians would beat the All Blacks either as well as everybody else, but imagine two guys do a tip tackle within the first 2 minutes, get red carded, you're down to 13 guys, a couple of guys get injured. It's not, it's there's more chance of that happening than you winning Powerball, put it that way. If you'd lost to South Africa and Italy got a bonus point against South Africa, that would have happened. Exactly right. Whoa, who's down? Is that Beal? Ooh, did he cop like a knee in the back of the head or something? Was it just drop on him? Man, Beal's eyes are closed. He looks out. Yeah. Yeah, Beal's going to need an HIA for sure, and he's not going to pass it. Boom. And his eyes are just shut. Nah, he's not going to pass that HIA. Will you be wearing the opposing team's jersey if the All Blacks go through first into the final? Probably. Beal's night is over. It definitely looks like Beal's night is over. He fell on during the tackle and his eyes were closed. So he seemed to be unconscious for at least a short time, and that's too long. So yeah, he needs to go get himself right. Beal doesn't know what day it is at the moment. Yeah, he looks pretty groggy, man. Do you have a Springbok jersey? I have 2 Springbok jerseys. Both got sent to me, although apparently the World Cup one doesn't look right. When people have seen it on camera, they're like, that doesn't look right. So it might be a fake. I don't know. More people have commented on that one not looking right than any other jersey I've ever worn. It should have been a card. At least the Georgian player cleared it up pretty on the ground. French ref. Did the TMO even have a look at it? How was my day? It was pretty good, man. I had to. The kids are always home on a Friday, They're with my parents, but because I was off work, I thought I can't just dump them on the parents. So I hung out with my kids and my niece and my parents' family stuff all day long. It's cool though. I built a little Lego spaceship with my son. And then he lost one of the pieces and I was annoyed. Then I found it and I was happy again. Don't lose the Lego pieces, man. You stand on those, it's going to be sore. Yeah, the Wallabies are 5 phases in and they are like 4 meters out from the Georgian line. Roll on Monday when school goes back. My kids are still too young for school. They go to daycare anyway, so every day is like a school day. Except Fridays, but I'm not usually home on Fridays. They're usually with my poor mother, who has to look after my 2 kids and my brother's daughter. And my dad, who's almost as bad in some ways. "11 phases, and there's a knock on." Good defense from Georgia. Some of the Buckle Cup jerseys don't look right, to be honest. I just want them to go back to the old faded green color we used to have. Our green is too similar to the Aussie green. Yeah, well, they say that the green in the World Cup jersey I've got is more like the green that's been used in recent years, not that light green that they've gone back to. England must be laughing at the Aussies at the moment. It's really wet, although it doesn't look that wet on the camera. But when they do close-ups, it does look really, really wet. So maybe that's a factor. When do you get to meet 4 cents? You mean my old man? I keep trying to talk to him about coming on, but he's not committed. Why are there so many French refs? Yeah, that was a big question here in New Zealand as well when they all got chosen. Why so many French refs? I live in Auckland, by the way. Is this an indoor stadium? I don't think so because there's a ton of rain falling. Did you miss the bins? It's a Friday, so no bins on a Friday. Bins are just Monday, Tuesday. Out on a Monday, in on a Tuesday. Mark, I'm back. Remember me. No. Maybe? Has your icon changed? Australia looks stupid with the green kit versus Uruguay. I mean, I prefer the other Aussie, like indigenous jersey than the green one, but I thought the green one looked better in the game than it did in the promo pics. They're just showing Kurtley Beale, and there's no way he's coming back on. Wales didn't look too hot against Fiji. I mean, Fiji did get a 10-point lead, but Wales ran them down. So, yeah, think back to World Cup 2015. How did the All Blacks go in the pool stages? Not that hot. They went okay. It doesn't matter. Get through your games, get your wins. Don't get injuries. That's the key. Favorite non-All Black player? There's so many, man. Don't make me pick one. Open a couple of brewskis with you, bro. All right, man. Cheers. This game's not had that much to go with so far, but as I said, the conditions are pretty bad. It says that Aussie have had 78% possession. I was going to say territory's going to be even more, and yep, it's 84. So it's just been all in the Georgian half. Apparently, the pitch Ireland are due to play on is so wet it's falling apart without anyone even walking on it. Good Lord. How mad are you about the All Blacks missing a game after asking to play the game one day early? Yeah, supposedly there's been differing stories come out with like some of I think it's English media saying that the All Blacks refused like any other dates, but then Steve Hansen in his press conference said we wanted a day earlier. World Rugby said no. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure New Zealand would have wanted the game. It's a huge break between games, like to the point where it's not helpful. Are you by any chance a betting man, 2 cents? I've been known to bet from time to time, but by no means a regular gambler. The TAB here in New Zealand, who's our main betting company, does a lot of promotional free betting. I try to get on board with many of those as I can. Are the Georgians known for their strong scrums? Well, they just won a scrum penalty. And yep, that's traditionally been their thing. Big forwards who can scrum. Bit of an aerial clash, but nobody seems to be hurt. Ball is actually in the Wallabies half for a change. Oh, Tamua just spotted a gap and ghosted through it. Offload to Dane Hill-Petty. They need some quick ball. Georgian defense is already back in line, though. And 3 guys on Karevi. I guess that's how you tackle Karevi. Corbus Reinach. Man, that guy had an awesome game, didn't he? There's a cool photo floating around on Twitter of him and his dad both in similar poses for the Springboks running in full flight, which was awesome. It's worth checking out. Wallabies are 8 phases into the Georgian 22. But the Georgians just keep tackling. "12 phases. They're going to need to do something special to break these Georgians because right now they're holding really well. Try Australia, you reckon? Karevi lives near me. The guy's built like a house. I don't doubt it. Come on, surely. 16 phases. You need to get a try. 22 minutes, 17 phases. The first try. Man. Kind of about time. But credit to that Georgian defense, man. They held for ages. Yeah, Nick White got the try. Time on my screen. It's not on at the moment. They're showing a replay of the try. Just got it. Very close. I made a bet the halftime points total over 26.5. at $2.65. It's looking like a long shot at the moment. Maybe better hope he kicks this conversion. Spark is pretty delayed. It is very delayed. He's kicked it. $7-0. Do you have an Australian Indigenous jersey? Just the one from a couple of years ago where they beat the All Blacks in it, I think. Not the green one. I always wait to update the whiteboard after the conversion so I don't have to do it twice. I'm lazy. Oh, man, Australia have done their best to fluff that restart. Ever watched a game on Spark where there was no delay? No, it's always like 30 seconds to a minute. Are you happy the All Blacks topped the group and either Scotland or Japan? I still think there's a possibility we get Ireland, but we need to see how that pool works out. The Ireland pool, Pool A, is virtually still every combination under the book, but it all depends on bonus points. Some of the situations are really unlikely. Like they can all end up on 15 points. If Ireland win with no bonus point, they're on 11, they get 4, go to 15. Scotland win with the bonus point, they're on 10, go to 15. And Japan, who are on 14, if they lose with the bonus point, they go to 15. So you could get 3 teams on 15. And then they've each all beaten one of the other ones. So the rule about the people who won the game, that doesn't count because each has won one and lost one. And then you'd have to go to points difference. It's going to get messy, but hopefully not. As long as they play the games, I don't really care. That'd be the main thing. Who would you rather play, Ireland or Japan? Probably Japan. Even though it's in Japan, I would still think is a bit of a mental hurdle for the Japanese guys to beat the All Blacks, more so than for Ireland, who've done that a couple of times recently. Give us Ireland, but would love Japan. Either way, if you're gonna become the champion, you need to beat all comers. So whoever it is, oh man, the Wallabies just knocked it on within their own. Oh, another penalty. What was that for? High tackle again? Seriously? They got to fix their tackling technique. I actually missed the high tackle. I just saw the knock on. Do you think the New Zealand jersey should have some Māori patterns on it? I mean, it's kind of hard when your team name is like All Blacks to go with something other than just black. The current one's got like a bunch of ferns on it, but they're pretty subtly imprinted. Michael Cheika more moaning. One thing you got to give for Cheika though is he doesn't give the standard press conference answers. He actually says what's on his mind, which a lot of them don't. So I give him a bit of credit for that. You'd like to see the All Blacks white jersey. That's true. They haven't worn that for a long time, eh? They used to have a grey one. That one's pretty infamous over here in New Zealand. Does he kick this penalty? He should. It's right out in front. I think I could almost kick that. Almost. Oh, yeah. Ooh, don't you fall over. And that's true. There is a Māori All Blacks jersey which has all kinds of patterns on it as well. It looks pretty cool. I do not have one. AB's grey jersey, worst idea ever. It was pretty bad. It was a pretty bad jersey. In fact, they lost in it. Doesn't help. Do any countries wear grey? I don't think so. There must be a reason why people don't go with grey. Crusaders wear grey. True. I seem to remember their grey jersey is not that good either. Highlanders green jersey is good. No, the Highlanders green jersey is not good. Not good if you good if you don't want to get hit by a car and you're riding a bike late at night because the car's not going to be able to miss you. No, the Aussies have just won a scrum penalty. This game is tight. I know the Australians love their rugby league, but why are the Wallabies tackling so hard lately? Just high, eh? I don't know what's going on. Think Roscoe Speckman can make the box? How old is he now? I feel like he's in his late 20s. How's the Aussie Maul gonna go? They're getting all the guys in there. Even Tamua's in that Maul. But it's going nowhere. Even Karevi is going backwards. There's a lot of beard in that Georgian team. There is a lot of beard. It's one of the interesting things if you watch other sports, you see they've got funny traditions. Like in the NHL, the guys, once their team makes the playoffs, they don't shave, a lot of them. So all the guys start to grow really big beards. And then the ones who can't grow beards get lots of fluff on their face. But I don't think we have any beard traditions in rugby, do we? Every now and again, teams grow facial hair on tour, but there doesn't seem to be a set thing about growing beards for particular tournaments or whatever. Have you ever been to Taupo? Of course. Yeah, man. I've been to Taupo a few times. It's very nice. And balding. Yes, there's a few bald heads as well. So I would not fit well in the Georgian team. I've got a full head of hair and can't grow a beard to save myself. So Yep. There we go. Sam Whitelock does have a pretty nice beard. Starting to go a bit grey. I noticed in his press conference like today or yesterday. Grow a beard, Mark. I wish, man. I wish. I can grow like a terrible goatee at best. You've never seen your dad without a mustache. For Movember, they normally grow beards in the UK. Here as well, man. If I wanted to grow a decent Movember mustache, I'd probably have to start in December to get ready for the next year's November. Crotty's beard, yeah. There's been some good beards in the All Blacks team as well. Hate beards. It sticks to my shirt. My facial hair gets a bit itchy, but I'm far from one to speak from experience. I think the Georgians might have just been warned for penalty count. Husband looks really young with no facial hair. Yeah, people generally, when they've got a big beard and then they shave, they suddenly look a wee bit younger. It's just a thing. It's funny that at 7-3 after 32 minutes, the conversation has drifted onto beards and facial hair. I guess that's a bit indicative of the game, and I've hardly taken any notes, to be honest. It's not been a classic thus far, but we still have more than half the game to go. I'm not resigned to this one being a stinker yet. Nick White's trying to keep things lively. This game was way too close for Australia. They should be running away with the points. Yeah, well, didn't Fiji beat them by 30 plus? You'd like to think the Aussies could do more than Fiji, but I guess all they need to do is get a win. Keep things ticking along, no injuries. Evening, John. Here to celebrate your beard and your baldness. Okay, I'll drink to your beard and your baldness. And that cheers comes from my hair and no beard. All that hair which is hidden under my hat. Cheers, John, man. You're too kind once again. Thank you for the beer. She's a Georgian, this one. $7.99. I know, man. It's a couple of beers. He's very generous. Maybe he's seen me watching this game and thinks I need two instead of one. Once again, John King tips Mark. He is very generous, man. Very kind man. Nice jersey. Yep. Stormers for all the storms that have been going on. Someone said I should have worn Hurricanes, and I think that was probably even more apt than what I chose. Georgia put in 115 tackles already. I'm controlling myself from looking what the stats are, but I feel like it's going to be a whole lot of Aussie possession and territory and a whole lot of Georgian tackles. Is the TMO going to get involved with this Nasarani thing? That looked a bit ugly, actually, when they just showed it. Are we going to see another yellow? I think. Right. It costs $79.99 for all the characters in the comment. How many cards will be given out in this match, says Nicholas? Ooh, at least one. Looking at that. I'm going to say 3 cards. I can see the Georgians conceding at least a team penalty for constant infringing, and potentially one more either side for some kind of high tackle, careless tackle, something like that. Would 3 cards be above or below the other? Oh, by the way, cheers, Nicholas, man. Thank you for that. Yellow. I saw Checker interviewed before the game, and he said he didn't want to give away any penalties. Not a good look. Hopefully less cards than the Wales-Fiji game. Yeah, that was 4. We are at 1, and we are 5 minutes out from halftime. 22 yellows and 6 reds this World Cup. Man, that's adding up, isn't it? Craig says, for the beer funded for the 115 Georgian tackles. Yeah, cheers, Craig. I think I can finish this boy off, man. Thank you once again, man. All the best for Sunday's game, Craig. Let's hope it goes ahead. And we're talking about the rugby instead of the weather on Sunday. Cards are getting ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, some would argue that the players just need to fix their tackling technique. And like that yellow card, you'd probably say, yeah, get lower. But yeah, some of them definitely have been pretty harsh. The guys who are falling down and get tackled is always the roughest one. Will the Blues do good? No, I don't think the Blues will do good. I still think the Blues will fall outside the playoffs. What can I say? Who's going to win, Namibia or Canada? My money would be on Namibia for that one. What other games am I going to stream? Let's have a look what other games are on. I will double check the Rugby World Cup app. Tomorrow, one game, that's Ireland-Samoa. 11:45. Holy moly. Yeah, I'll try my best with that one. Sunday, Namibia, Canada, 4:15. No. USA, Tonga, no. But is there really 4 games on Sunday? Oh my lord. Wales, Uruguay, or Japan, Scotland. Well, I guess we'll wait and see what happens with the weather. Aussie have just kicked the penalty. Whiteboard is currently in progress. Thoughts on South African article about refs more likely to give cards to Polynesian players? I haven't read the article, but I feel like probably if you looked at the stats, a gut feeling is true. I mean, South Africans will never forget the Bismarck tackle on Dan Carter, which was just like, come on, man. I'll probably only watch Japan, Scotland. Oh, Jasmine, it's on so late. 11:45 and work the next day, but like I said, got to watch it. Whether I live stream that one or not, we'll see. See how I'm feeling. Do you think France are due their one good game soon? You feel like France are always one game away from a good game, so yeah, quite possibly, Carl. They've got a long break for their next one, but we'll see if there's any more internal strife coming out of their camp. 1 minute to go on my stream before halftime. Joe Schmidt claims cancellations hand All Blacks and England at a clear advantage. WTF. I don't think it's a clear advantage. The fact that they got through without, like England got top spot without having to claim it against France, and New Zealand got through without having to win against Italy. Sure, that's kind of a free pass, although both were favourites. But, I mean, just looking at that from the New Zealand point of view, that's a long time between games. And in the last game, the most recent game for the All Blacks, they rested half their players. There was no Bodie, there was no Richie. So those guys are going to be going into that next game very cold. So it'll be interesting to see whether that works out as a help or as a hindrance. I mean, you could look at it both ways. Extra rest, but no match fitness. Half time. Half time. All Blacks don't need a break. They need to play. I'm inclined to agree, man. Too much rest is not a good thing. You look at what always happens at the end of the Super Rugby season. They have a few weeks off, and then they play their first game in the Rugby Championship, and all the teams are rusty because they have too much time off. Georgians seem to be playing their lives dependent on it. Aussies like they're waiting for benefit checks. Yeah, it's not been clinical, this one. That is true. I think the All Blacks will have a mock game. Yeah, they said something about they're going to play the All Blacks. So they're going to have like an internal game. They need to do something. I feel like if France got the right coach, they could be serious contenders. Yeah, the players always seem to have issues with the coaches over there, but I guess we'll see. Not a pretty first half from the Wallabies. Yeah, that was messy. That was very messy. It's only 2 weeks off. When was their last game? Name one Rugby World Cup 2019 match that doesn't have a single game. What does that mean? Those weeks between Super Rugby and the Rugby Champions are the longest. There is a fair break between the rugby, that's for sure. 10-3 is good for Georgia. I agree. The defense has been very good, man. Very good. It's been a good World Cup. Aside from the cancelled games, I would agree. And like the humidity and the handling has been a bit of an issue. But yeah, other than that. Newsflash, if Ireland beat Samoa tomorrow, World Rugby will cancel Scotland match so that your bank can qualify. Surely not. Mark, have you voted in your local council elections? I have to drop mine in tomorrow. I did vote in my local council elections. Yes, I did. I think the voting rate here in Auckland is like 30% for local body elections. Spam if you think this guy's a legend. He's not a legend. He's just as touch tired. Some guy actually put a comment on one of my videos the other day, and it said he must have been like his first time seeing my game, and he was like, "Is this guy always like this? Because he seems, what do you say? He seems drunk or hungover." And I was like, "Nah, I'm just tired." The game started at like 11:15, man. Come on, give me a break. My kids get me up early. We all knew it was going to be wet and slippery, but the players just had to adapt. Yeah, you're a professional rugby player. Your job's to catch your ball and whatnot. You got to catch it. That's true. Even if it's difficult. You need to vote. You forgot. I know, man. It is pretty tough, though. There's not that much to choose from. You're hungover. Too much Blues fan mentality. Yeah, that's true. How many Rugby World Cup jerseys do you have? I have Samoa, sent to me by Mark, and I have South Africa, but that's the one people tell me that the color doesn't look right and they think it's a fake. That was also sent to me, not by Mark, but I can't tell if it's a fake or not. I haven't had a real one to compare it to, but that would be an interesting topic for a video. I reckon they should ban the TMO from intervening. The ref should be the only person to ask for a referral if anything's noticed. Get cards from TMO reviews. Get rid of the TMO. Mark is drunk on rugby. And you got young children. I woke up for my son's medication. It's ADHD. Went to breakfast. Went back to bed 9 a.m. Jeez, yeah, I know, right? Show you the Springbok one. Okay. Blistering through comments. For Big Will, actually, some people think this should be the other way around. People think that the TMO should essentially be controlling the game. Drunk on rugby, I would definitely say. And yes, young children generally keep things up pretty late. See if I can quickly find that Springbok jersey. I'll be back in just a second. It's just next to me over here, I believe. Springbok jerseys. This one is not the World Cup one. Or it is the World Cup one. No, this one is not the World Cup one. That's like the previous season's one. And this one is the World Cup one. Like this. So what people are saying is that the greens, I don't know how well this is going to appear on camera because I haven't got proper lighting in here either. They're saying the green is too similar. This green is supposed to be much lighter than this green. So, I don't know. They are kind of similar shades of green. The DHL logo ruins the Stormers jersey. Just like the big NIB with the blues, man. I can't stand it. Your jersey is supposed to be lighter, closer to the old one. Yeah. Even when I see it on TV, I feel like it is a lot lighter. That being said, it's hard to tell unless you've got... They look pretty similar to me, but I'm not an expert. I don't know. Watching 10 out of 10 live coverage is avoiding hearing that from Phil Kearns on Fox Sports. Yeah. Both look good to you. World Cup jersey for South Africa is fake, pretty sure. On that, Biz Rugby got the same jersey from a weird website. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, sometimes there's a difference between the players' jerseys and the replica jerseys they sell. So that could also be it. I don't know. I mean, that one was sent to me. Like I said, so I don't know where it's come from. Only tuning how what position on Wallaby getting a yellow card when clearing. Yeah, I mean, the refs going high. It's probably going to be a yellow card these days, I guess. Thankfully, it wasn't red. I think the sponsors tend to blend into a jersey and not stick out like a sore thumb. I also agree they should do that. But I guess they figure they're playing the money, so they get what they want. Too dark. Yeah, I think it is too dark as well. But like I said, still like to go benefit of the doubt and say maybe the supporters' jerseys are also a wee bit darker. I really don't know. I need to have something to compare it to. The last SA jersey I have, besides the 2019 one, is the 2011 Rugby World Cup one. That's so weird. That's a long time ago. How much did you get the Rugby World Cup one for? I didn't buy it. It was sent to me. It was sent to me by somebody. So I don't know the origin or the cost. Just usually thankful to get a jersey. But I like to think they're legit. But yeah, I'm going to have a look at the stats. I have the South African World Cup jersey replica much lighter. So noticeably lighter, yeah? Maybe it's a fake. But like I said, of all the jerseys that I've got, this one has noticeably had a lot of comments to say it doesn't look right, which has never happened before. So, yeah. Right, halftime stats. Run meters, 219 to 75. Position, 79-21. Territory, 85-15. That's yeah. Tackles, 93% for the Aussies, 92% for the Georgians. The Aussies with 25 out of 27. The Georgians with 118 out of 128. Oh my lord. Penalties conceded, 5 points to 7. Well, we've got more points than penalties, but not by much. Do you ever take your head off? From time to time, I do take my head off. Can you recap the first half? I didn't see. Australia in the Georgian half, the Georgian guys making tackles. That's pretty much the first half. Definitely a yellow card. Could have been a red, strictly adhering to the laws. Yeah, when I saw the arm contact to the head, I initially worried red, but yellow. Cool. We'll take yellow. What's up with the Springbok on the sleeve? Well, fake or not, World Rugby only allows, like, you have to have the World Cup logo. I guess the manufacturers insist on having their logo. You're allowed one more. So the Wallaby is also on the sleeve for the Wallabies one. So if you want anything else, it gets relegated to the sleeve. Like for most teams, it's not a problem because they only have one logo to chuck on. But the Wallabies have got two, and the Springboks have got two. So yeah, it's on the sleeve. Karevi's not making much impact. Yeah, I wonder what the player stats are for like tackle busts for Australia. Karevi, defenders beaten, 0. There you go. Semi Radra has been very good. He has been. How good is my haka? It's not good. I've never really had formal training on one. If you hold up the USA jersey, yeah, they when I said on my jersey video, I said there's no Springbok on the front. People did say that this white bit is supposed to be the Springboks, so the head and the antlers. So that's like their other way to get a Springbok on the front. Obviously not the same, but I do appreciate that nice touch. Didn't know about it until I did the video. Gada, we've had to cancel the Mario Kart tour of Tokyo this afternoon because of the changing weather. Hopefully to do a Sunday. Fair enough. Is that a thing? You're allowed to do the country symbol on the right breast. Yeah, you're allowed one spot. I think for the World Cup, you're only allowed one spot because the World Cup logo has to go there. That's a must. You only get one spot. Like whereas on the other jerseys, you can just kind of do what you want. So at this rate, do you think Australia can knock out England in the quarters? It's hard to judge this game because it's been so wet, but Australia aren't setting the world on fire. That's to be sure. But I mean, England didn't do much against France, did they? How much have you spent on rugby jerseys? I hate to think, man. Too much, but again, like I said earlier, the amount of jerseys that I've bought full price, I don't know. Not many. Most of them I've either bought like secondhand or way on discount end of season, you know. I bought a couple full price to make up the numbers for the World Cup. Like I had to buy Tonga full price because I didn't have a Tonga one and there was no other option. So yeah, that was painful. But you do what you gotta do, represent all the teams. It's awesome, mate. And carts touring areas of Coco wearing Super Mario Kart clothes. Wow, awesome. That is awesome. I don't think Australia can knock out Georgia. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be at this rate. I think Australia will pick up the tempo now. I hope so. I hope this game kind of catches a wee bit. It's hard work making 118 tackles in one half of rugby, so we'll see how they go. Do you have a favorite Latin player from France, Italy, Argentina, Romania? Like a Romance language country player? I mean, I do like Boffelli from Argentina, but I don't think he's had his best time at the World Cup, to be honest. Most tier 2 teams crumble in the second half. That is a fact. The fitness levels and whatnot. Whoa, that wasn't straight. Oh, my Lord. That was about as wonky as you get. I don't think Japan can beat South Africa. Japan cannot beat South Africa. Yeah, it seems pretty unlikely. But you never know. You can't say 0%. It would be a very unlikely one. But again, there's more chance of that happening than you winning first division lotto kind of thing. You know what I mean? Thoughts on Gary Lineker saying it's funny. It's hard not to laugh when facing the haka. I think Gary Lineker, I mean, I do like Match of the Day. I haven't watched it for a couple of seasons, but he does a good job at his job, but probably shouldn't be venturing into rugby land with his comments. I do get it though, because I remember when I first moved to China and people were asking me stuff about New Zealand, I would like show them the haka and be like, this is like one of our coolest things. And they would always look at it and go, man, that seems real savage. What are those guys doing? They were never impressed. They were always kind of turned off by it. So I stopped showing people it because they didn't get it. So some people don't get it. Gutted England, France cancelled. Talking to the locals, will be hunkered down in the hotel tomorrow. Definitely seems like a good day to hunker down, have some nice food and a few drinks, I guess, in the hotel. Watch some telly. Do you like the Queensland Reds? They're not my favorite Australian team, to be honest. But I do need to take my wife to the Gold Coast at some point, so maybe I'll go and see a Queensland Reds game in Brisbane and then take a trip to the Gold Coast. She's never been, so that'd be fun. Where did you live in Zhongguo? I lived in Wuhan. Wow. Turnover for the Georgians. The Georgians are on the counter. Can they do anything here? Quick ball. This game just got interesting. Is this the first time the Georgians have been in the Aussie 22? Maybe. We're at 44 minutes and they knocked it on. Okay. Oh, man. Now the Georgians have knocked it on again. Georgia got penalised for offside. And the yellow card is over. Their backs have no attack whatsoever. Let's let them down. Yeah. I remember when I looked at the Georgian squad and you can see where they play. I mean, this is Wikipedia, so it might have some errors in it, but you look at all the forwards, contract in France, contract in France, contract in France, contract in France. You look at all the backs, apart from a couple of the scrum halves, like plays locally in Georgia, plays locally in Georgia, plays locally in Georgia. So their forwards definitely seem to be on another level. Only 15 seconds behind my coverage. Oh, okay. Wow. Maybe Spark's speeding it up. We hear the tallest person in China. I mean, I'm pretty tall in New Zealand. We're not a very tall country. That being said, Sam Whitelock and Brodo Telek are a lot taller than me. But yeah, Yao Ming, the Chinese former basketball, would be a lot taller than me as well. But I was pretty tall in China. That's true. In Beijing on the subway, I was pretty average at 6 foot. It depends where you go. Supposedly, northern Chinese are taller than southern, and Wuhan, where I was, is kind of in the middle. So it's a mixture. What's up with the Irish picking on the All Blacks recently? They're complaining about the haka, accusing. Well, that guy who complained about the haka is right. He's just a sensationalist journalist. He's a bit of a knob, so. The link you gave for the jersey store is well expensive, 75 for a kid's size. My car only cost 150. That store that I'm working with, they're a real mixed bag. Like some of their jerseys are legit expensive, but they've also got some decent deals. So, like if you want to buy, I think it was, I checked, if you want to buy a All Blacks jersey, which is not a Rugby World Cup one in New Zealand, they're still really expensive. But if you get one from that store, they're really quite cheap. But yeah, some of the stuff is expensive. At least you get 10% off. Free shipping in the UK. Orders over £60. Doesn't apply to me. Australians on average are taller than Kiwis, which I found weird when I went to Australia. Yeah, New Zealand's not a tall country, man. When you look at the average stats, like I think the Dutch are the tallest on average, where the average guy is like 6 foot. But New Zealand is by no means a very tall country. That being said, we still get some tall timber in the second row. Do you think the Women's World Cup will be ruined like this one? They're not calling it the Women's World Cup. I think they're calling it World Cup 2021. Hopefully no typhoons. Have you ever used DH Gate for jerseys? No. I've used Lovell. I've used England Rugby Store. I've used, there's an American one, Rugby City. That's where I got the Tonga jersey. I've used Rebel Sport here in New Zealand and Trade Me for second-hand ones here in New Zealand. Also eBay for a second-hand one I got from Australia. What are my thoughts on the games being cancelled? Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely a moderate. Like, I get that it's not possible to move a game with 70,000 fans to another place, and also that pushing the game back a day may not solve the problem anyway. But the idea that you can't move the teams to another location on the same day if you know 3 days out, I mean, it doesn't even have to be a fancy venue, just to play the game behind closed doors. That seems kind of crazy that you couldn't do that. But again, I've never worked in event planning. So, I mean, I know someone mentioned it on Twitter as well. I know sorting out a work roster for staff is a pain in the backside. So I'm sure this would be even more pain in the backside. But I like to think people smarter than me would be organizing that kind of thing. So I'm sure there are smart enough people to do that kind of stuff. Talking to locals, they're telling us the typhoon is unusual for this time of year, usually in the minor ones in October. Yeah, the article I read said it's usually May to October, and it's August, September that has the peak. So usually petering out by October as well, but bad luck strikes. Playoff games have reserve days. They do have 2 days reserve days, but even the playoff games, the knockout stages, they can still be cancelled if it comes to it. World Rugby hyped up their contingency playing and flexible months ago. Just to cancel the games, yeah, that kind of sucks. What time was the World Cup in 2015? What months was it played in? I've been meaning to Google it, but I can't remember. When was it played in England? When was it played in 2011? Do you guys remember? I mean, I went to 2011, but I sure as heck can't remember when the games were played. September, October. So it was the same kind of time. 2011 was in spring. Okay. Because, I mean, we usually have the games in November, but I guess they couldn't. Is there a reason they couldn't do the World Cup after typhoon season? I mean, again, I don't know. I'm in Osaka, Japan, where it won't be directly affected by typhoons, but with the way we're preparing for it, it looks like typhoon is due to hit Tokyo areas hard. Yeah, by all accounts, it's a pretty horrendous one. This game sucks. The weather's not helping. I'm going to keep saying it. The weather is not helping. 31st of October was the final in 2015. Okay. So similar times. You guys are right. I just came back from Osaka Station where I met a bunch of Aussies who abandoned watching the game versus Georgia in the stadium. Yeah, it looks wet. And the game has not been like thrilling to watch, to be honest. Should have March, April, and then October, November. That'll be fairer. Someone I heard a radio show because it's been all in the news here in New Zealand saying that the Japanese top league like doesn't play at this time of year for this reason, but they play later. Because they'd be stranded at Shizuoka, otherwise all the trains are set to be suspended between Nagoya and Tokyo. Okay. 2007 was September to October, September to October, September to October. So that's just a thing, eh? Thanks for that. Michael Checker. I feel like the Wallabies have a potential big decent side, but they're talented players. So inconsistent. They need a different coach. Maybe. I feel like Checker's a decent coach, but he's not a good selector. I think that's part of it. They seem to have gotten a bit better since he's had two others helping him with the selections. October to November. 2003 October to November. That's going a wee way back, but that might have made sense to put it a bit later. It's not just for the teams to move, it's for TV officials. Yeah, I know that it's bigger than just like the squads, but I still feel like it's at a manageable level. But again, I haven't done event planning for TV crews and all that kind of stuff. I would imagine it's still a big job. Checker loves the Sydney club boys. I agree. I think that's why he needs help with selections. All the way I'm talking, there's a Georgian guy who's on a stretcher about to go off. It's the halfback. Hopefully he's all good. He's been properly strapped up. Are you going to watch Rugby World Cup final live or on Spark Sport? I may end up watching that one on TVNZ, to be honest. It's because of the French top 14, they have the most foreign players and refuse to give them time off. The top 14 already started by the time the World Cup started, right? I mean, beers are nice, but I'm going to have to go to bed. This game's putting you to sleep. You and me both, man. It is tough. It's tough watching. I hope this Georgian guy's all right, but the delay of game is not doing my bedtime any good either. Favorite rugby TV analyst? Which rugby TV analyst do I like? It's funny. I think I prefer the 10-14 guys to any of the former players. I'll have to think about it. Yeah, the fact that the crowd's doing a Mexican wave shows that they're trying to get a bit of entertainment amongst themselves, I suppose. I'm a bit of a killjoy when the Mexican waves come by, to be honest. I don't usually do them. I'm usually the guy going, wish these guys would watch the game. Killjoy. Jamie Roberts has been a very good analyst. Nice. That's good. Stransky. 10-14 are good at what they do. Nick Mellett, Rod Kafer, Tim Horan, and yourself. Sam Warburton. Yes, that's true. I have enjoyed his bits and pieces that I've seen. Murray Mix did. What was his catchphrase? I feel like he had a catchphrase. It's going to be a short review, eh? I just started watching our Australia playing like crap or Georgia playing really well. This game's been ugly, man. It's wet as. It's raining a lot. The Georgians' defense has been phenomenal. The Aussies have had heaps of ball, but their attack's not doing a whole lot of nothing. So, yeah, it's been a pretty messy one. There's a few YouTube pundits that are better than TV ones. Some of the guys on TV are pretty bad. Like Sky TV in New Zealand employs a ton of former players. And there's a bit of a mixture as to how well they go. Brian Moore, the ex-hooker for England, love him, hate him, he's gold. True. Michael Lina's not bad. He usually works for Sky TV in the UK, right? Ali Williams. Yeah, Ali Williams and John Kerwin and those guys. Not really a fan of Israel Dag on there either, but I guess Israel Dag's been employed to do another show as well, instead of like a bit more jokey, blokey, rather than like analysis per se. So giving former players jobs with no training is always a worry. Yeah, that's a thing. There's often an assumption that they can just pick it up, but a lot of them don't do it as well as others. If I was a pundit, which channel would I like to be on? Probably YouTube, because I can control what I talk about. I don't mind Carl Tanana. He's okay. My dad hates Carl Tanana. Because he's a sevens guy. What do you know about 15s? I'm like, Dad, you didn't like play at a higher level than he doesn't know anything about 15s. Okay. He's played at a higher level than both of us. Nah, he doesn't know anything about 15s. Okay. Cool. Do you want some small movie relief in Japan? Send decorate the background. Hell yeah, man. You know I'm always keen on my rugby gear. Do you vape or smoke? Touch the pen to the mouth a lot. Just curious. Damn, man. That's sharp eyes. Trying not to smoke. Smoking's bad. Ian Smith's a cricketer. Yeah, Ian Smith does the rugby as well. I don't know how he got that gig. That guy fell into the ultimate gig here in New Zealand because he commentates cricket in summer, but recently Sky New Zealand have just lost the rights to the cricket, and he commentates rugby in winter, but they've lost the rugby at the moment anyway. But apparently they're going to get Super Rugby and All Blacks future games back, so... Since the game I got is cancelled, I got a free walk around the city. If I'm happy to buy something small and modest value, for sure, man. Yep. Send me an email once you do. happy to give you a shout out and stuff. I always appreciate that. I mean, if you're happy to be shouted out. But yeah, don't go spending too much for sure. Smoking is bad. It stunts your growth. Oh, wait, you're 6'4". Yeah, I didn't start smoking until I was already fully grown. Favorite pundit? Ellen Quinlan is fun. I do like Ellen Quinlan. He gets a lot of grief in Ireland about being really biased, eh? Sean Fitzpatrick called my cousin the N-word regularly. You don't like him? Yeesh, that's not good. You need to get yourself on the World Cup Rugby Daily Show. You know what's sad? I don't know if I mentioned this before. I know I told my wife about it when I was watching Squid Rugby's thing on the Daily Show. They actually sent me an email like 6 months ago, and they said, "Are you going to the World Cup? You could be on our Daily Show, do something for our Daily Show." And I was like, "Oh, I'm not going to go." And they're like, "Oh, okay. Maybe we can still work with you for something." Never heard back. I didn't expect to hear back. I quit smoking 3 times this week already. My English mate who was a smoker always told me, like, I'm not going to stop smoking because I'm not a quitter. It's like, yeah, cool. Good line. Man, this game is messy, eh? Dane Hill at Petty just tried a miracle offload out the back, and this is not the game to be doing that. Rugby World Cup Daily Show follow you. You're 1 of 10. Eh? How do you mean follow me? Have you ever coached Little League? Nah, my kids are too young to get into that kind of stuff, and I don't think I would be doing coaching stuff anyway. Send you a private message through YouTube to get my hands on something concrete. Can't promise. No worries, man. I've always got my email address, Twitter. Just send me a message anyway. That's all good. What kind of stuff would you have done on the Rivers dealership? No idea, man. They just said, "Would you like to work with us?" And I was like, "Sure, but I'm not going to be in Japan." I'll see if I can find that email to exactly see what they said. It was sent in July and says, "I work for a production partner in World Rugby. A part of our programming content during Rugby World Cup, we're planning on producing a daily show. Planning is underway, and we're looking at elements what we can include. Would you be interested in appearing on the show in some shape or form?" So no details. Follow me on. Oh, you guys are saying try? Seriously? Like follow on Twitter. On YouTube, I think. I know World Rugby does follow me on YouTube, which was bizarre when I saw that. You guys are saying try to Karabiti. Where? The ball is like literally being spilled. Oh, I see. Individual brilliance. This game needed that. Wow. I love it how he is just like, nah, I'm not giving the ball to any of you guys. I'm just going to go and score a try because this is BS. Second half, and I'm still on my first page. I'm going to write a note for this one. My daughter is crying like mad. She must be supporting the Georgians. World Rugby follows you. They can send copyright strikes. No copyrighted content on my channel. It's all me and the whiteboard, baby. On smoking, just feel that it's good to say, no thanks, I don't smoke. Yeah, it's probably a good thing to do. I need to get into that habit. I'm doing pretty good. I haven't been smoking on my time off, so that's good. Been drinking more beer than I usually do. How old am I? Man, I'm getting old, April. Getting old. Pocock's off. I don't have a bucket list, but I do want to go to Europe at some point. Still never been. And South Africa. And Fiji. Lots of places. A whiteboard company. I should really partner up with a whiteboard company. I'm doing wonders for the whiteboard industry. Smoking is especially bad when you have kids. Absolutely. Absolutely. I stopped for years after I had my son, and then I started again. And then my wife was like, "Are you smoking?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "You don't do that." So I haven't been smoking recently, which is good. Before the three, definitely. I'm a few years younger than you, but not a lot. I haven't hit 40 yet, but I'm closer to 40 than I am 30. Am I coming to Europe? Yeah, man. I would love to at some point. Need to save some pennies. She gave she gave you her 2 cents on smoking. She gave me more than her 2 cents. She's always hated smoking. Her dad smokes, so she's always hated it. She doesn't like the smell. And it's bad for your health. Successfully quit smoking and you'll have an extra cash for a possible trip to Europe. Absolutely. Isn't smoking popular in China? Carl, you have hit a partial nail on the head there, man. It's really easy to smoke when you're in China because it's cheap as, and all the guys smoke pretty much. All the guys smoke. You get offered cigarettes all the time. Sometimes you get into a taxi and the guy's like, "Do you want to smoke?" It's like, "Come on, man." It's like, "No, welcome to China. I'm being friendly." And he is legit being friendly. Okay. Maybe Australia are starting to turn the screws at the moment because they seem to be putting a bit more pressure on. The older you get, the less stuffs you give. That's true. You'll send the plane. Good man. I know you've got that airways connection. White board is a bit racist. It should be called a Caucasian board or a Pacquiao board. I may have a blackboard lying around the house somewhere, but the chalk would be pretty dusty. Come watch Belgium play Georgia rugby in Brussels. That would be awesome. Belgian beer is supposed to be pretty good, huh? And chocolate. Knock on. I really want to go to Fiji. I've heard nothing but good things. Plus, it's close. Yeah, I said to my wife, I said, we need to go to a Sunwolves game before they disappear. And she said, we're in New Zealand. That's really far away. Why didn't you say that when we were living in China? So she wants to go to Fiji because it's a lot closer. Have you ever thought about picking a man of the match in each of your game reviews? I used to do, well, I haven't been doing dream teams for the Rugby World Cup, but I tend to do dream teams for Super Rugby and like other internationals. But I always forget to pick like a captain or a man of the match kind of thing, player of the week. It's just I forget. I'm pretty forgetful. Hit the 60 minutes and Georgia will be too tired. Yeah. That was my last smoke. Quit on the spot. Yeah, I've quit multiple times. Hopefully this time's one that sticks. Although I had a mate who used to go to like Alcoholics Anonymous, and he said that like part of the quitting is actually not saying that you've quit, because once you say you've quit something, you can kind of justify going back to it, saying I'm in control. So something about like admitting that you haven't quit ever is a thing. I don't know. If you're heading to the Gold Coast, what was that? I missed that. Heading to the Gold Coast, go to the Hard Rock Cafe. It's a cool place to look around. Okay. We don't have one of those in New Zealand. Go to Fiji and watch the Crusaders versus the Chiefs. I don't think they're doing it this year, are they? I checked the schedule and I didn't see a Fiji match. Are you going to do a show of Mrs. Two Cents? She absolutely doesn't want to be on the show compared to my dad. If I come to the UK, I can get mates rates from Craig. That sounds good. Mates rates are always a thing. Go to one of the outer islands of Fiji. They don't allow children under 16. Who's going to look after my kids, Jasmine? Were you and the missus teaching? She wasn't teaching, but I was teaching. This match is boring as long as Ben Skeen's TMO decisions. It is starting to pick up a bit in the last few minutes, but it's still scrappy. I dare say this match might need Ben Skeen. Ben Skeen might actually bring some drama to a match that needs a bit of something. My prediction on 3 cards seems to be going well out the window. Gold Coast is awesome because their peaches are as hot as their women. Okay. Maybe my wife won't want to go there. Fiji's an awesome place to go. Ben Skeen, the hero we need, not the hero we deserve. Gold Coast is poop. Sunshine Coast is better. Gold Coast is more well-known, though, right? I feel like part of it's being able to say that you've been to a place. I've been to the Gold Coast when I was a kid, but not as an adult. Going to go back to Fiji for your 20th or 30th by the time your kids will have left home. Yeah, hopefully I can do that at some point. Sunshine Coast if you're retired. Is that how that works? It's kind of like Tauranga here in New Zealand. Known for people who enjoy sunshine. Damn, April, you've traveled around a lot. Kind of loath to talk about what's going on because it's mistakes from both sides, but it's still in the Georgian half. Aussies have got the ball back from a Georgian line-out. And the Aussies are just throwing it into touch. That's why it's better talking about travel at the minute, honestly. Gold Coast is great if you're young and like to party. Maybe I should go to the Sunshine Coast. Damn. Do an African safari and then Cape Town, hit the Big 5 and 2 oceans. Hawaii's got that battleship I would like to see. That's true. How do you think the Blues will do this season? I think poorly, Carl. I think they will do poorly. If recent history is anything to go by, even half a season with Bowden Barrett is not going to be enough. Just don't do drugs in Bali. Got married there instead. Nice. Definitely no worries about me doing drugs anywhere. Never been to NZ or Australia, just or Asia, just Europe and America and Africa. I've never been to Africa, Europe, or America, so there we go. Been to Asia though. Spent a lot part of my life there. No one seems to know how to punish Tier 2 teams quite like the All Blacks. What are the biggest blowouts there have been so far? What's the biggest scoreline been? Oh my lord, Georgia have lost 5 lineouts. Good gracious, that's poor. The Missouri, yeah, that's the one. My brother's been there. And he doesn't even care. My brother couldn't care less about going to a beach or seeing a World War II ship. Like, he literally is the last guy who would care about that. And yet he's been, because his missus dragged him. Are you guys saying try? Come on. Georgians can't even win their own lineout, let alone score a try. They did win their own lineout. Oh, nice. Come on. Is that Torua? It is Torua. Awesome. He's actually looked kind of slick. Like, for all the Georgian backs, Torua has looked one of the better guys throughout the tournament. That's amazing. I still think Korobidi did it better, but that was a very good try. Who was the guy that made the line break? I don't know his face. Thank God something happened. Yeah, this game needed that. That helps Georgia as well. Was it the 10? Okay. Your super prediction is off. I predicted Aussie by 22, and they're not even going to get 22 points, man. You think? Okay. Hopefully they show one more replay, but it'll probably just be the 11 scoring. Ah, I can look for try assist on the stats. Who got the try assist? Hey, did he miss? Okay. Maybe he should have stuck to alpine skiing. Oh, well, still a good try. Good stuff, man. I'm glad for the Georgians. That's cool. A trip to New York for your daughter for her 18th? Nah, I've never been to New York either. Poorly traveled. Australia, China. That's pretty much it. Although lots of places in China. Yes, you're right. It was the 10 who got the try assist. What years were you in China? From when did I went for a year, then I came back, and then I went for like 7 more. 2005 till 6, and then 2006 to 7 I was back here. Then 2007 to like 2014. I was there for ages, man. Ages. Aussie scrum's looking good. I guess you're kind of isolated in New Zealand. It costs a fortune to go anywhere. Yeah, like literally the nearest flight is Australia, which is like almost 4 hours away. If you're in Europe, where does 4 hours get you? I guess pretty far. I need whiskey, not beer, watching this. Bro, John, you're so right, man. This is not the best. Fiji's only 3 hours. Okay. 2 hours to Sydney. No way I've flown to Sydney. It took more than 2 hours. But thank you, John. I wasn't going to open the Aussie one, but I think I will. I think I need to get something flowing. Otherwise, I'm going to drift off before I do the review. Cheers, man. Maybe I'll get a bottle of whiskey at some point going forward, too. Try to the Aussies, you reckon? From the mall? Well, Tupou's got his pants down. Oh, it's been awarded. Got to Auckland from Perth in 5 hours. That must have been a hell of a tailwind, man. I think when I flew to Sydney, it was like 3.5 or 3 hours, 40 minutes, like close to 4 hours. Oh, well. A few tries in quick succession. This game's starting to look up. Just touched the line. It just brushed it, didn't it? Must have been a fighter jet. Yeah, man, you're not wrong. Thank you for the company. Doesn't have any rugby fans. This online rugby community is beloved. Yeah, man, I agree. Like, of my 3 best mates who I've known since high school or beyond, like my best mate I've known since like I was 6, none of them could care less about rugby. One of them is into league. That's it. Aussie missed the conversion as well. You're in class, bro, Ryan. You need to be paying attention. Get an education. Are you subscribed to any All Blacks? I haven't subscribed yet. I'm waiting to see if they can keep it up. I know Artie's done a few. I didn't know he'd done one with ALB, but I've seen his one with Angus Tattleval, which was pretty cool. And YouTube keeps suggesting I watch Rico, but I haven't seen Rico yet. Live chat was better than the game. I can't always say that there's more entertainment, but I feel like we've had a good chat on some interesting stuff tonight when the stuff on screen hasn't been the best. That is true. I'm going to say it again, though. The weather looks still pretty horrible. Well, you know when you can see it on the screen that it's worse at the ground. The camera doesn't pick up the rain to full effect. My husband will tell the kids to leave me alone when I'm watching the rugby, especially an All Blacks game or a Chiefs game. He's a good man, your husband. I lived in New Zealand for 18 years, still don't understand league. It's just not interesting. I'm in bed struggling to stay awake. Yeah, I get that feeling. Keeping track of beer consumption more than the game. Another try? Seriously? Do you think any top rugby players are subscribed to this channel? No, I hope not. Oh, man. Try to the Aussies right at the end. This game is finishing with a flourish. Oh, and 11J said, bro, you're back. Cheers, man. Very good timing with that try, bro. Cheers. And that's an Aussie one. So there you go. Much appreciated, man. Tupo. And then to Guinea. I think because in Australia, many people are brainwashed into following one of the codes that are broadcast on pay TV. He isn't into rugby as such. He's a gamer currently playing Minecraft. Good Lord. Then again, my wife's not into the rugby at all either. So there you go. I feel like the fact that rugby league is on free to air in Australia is probably a factor. There's also more teams, a bit more tribalism, and there's probably a bit more office banter. Like if the Brumbies beat the Blues, who are you going to give stick to in your office? Well, maybe there's a fair few Kiwis, but if the Brumbies beat the Sunwolves, you're probably not going to be able to tell anyone. Nobody's going to care. But if your Eels beat the Rabbitohs, then you've probably got someone in your office you can brag to. So full time. Well, guys, there were a few tries at the end, but we did it. We managed to sit through that one. It was wet. It's peeing down at the ground. You can see it on TV. But yeah, thank you, guys. Liam says hi. Say good night to Liam from me. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Eels beat the Rabbitohs. Bro, it was just picking two teams. I don't know. But yeah, thanks for that, guys. I am going to get to bed. Quickly review. The review is going to be brief because the notes are brief. So, but yeah, thanks for sticking with me through that one, guys. Yeah, just the one game tomorrow with the cancelled game. So we should be here for that one as well. So we'll see how things go. Enjoy the rest of your night, morning, evening, whatever it is for you guys, and yeah, and enjoy Cheika's press conference. That's a good point as well. That will be a bit of fun. So yep, cheers guys, and I'll talk to you again for the next one. See you.